I feel like I'm working harder than ever than anybody else to try to get this because I understand it. I feel like I'm committed, but it seems to always hit a wall. I'm sure
So
you've
true.
witnessed it with your audience
Yeah.
too. And like,
It is
what
a
the hell is going
fascinating
on here?
phenomenon. It is a fascinating phenomenon. You go into any, TL or any major guru that teaches this stuff, and you go and talk to their followers. For instance, you talk to Abraham, who's teaching the law of attraction all the time in reality creation, and a lot of those followers are attracted to that teacher because they're coming from this state of lack. And so a lot of them are already coming from a place of lack, and so what I have found is that it requires a sort of transformation. A lot of people, it is human nature for you to encounter that obstacle, that wall. It is the norm. It is what consciousness is in this third density reality that we're in. And so to transcend that limitation, it takes, for some, it's as easy as riding a bike. For some, it really requires a true understanding of yourself, really opening up and understanding yourself. And I think what you said is right. It is magic. I believe in magic. I believe that magic is involved. A scientist eventually would be able to call it something else. There's a masculine side that wants to understand how it works. And there's still that part of me that wants to understand, well, the particles are moving in this way. And I want to understand the physics and the science behind it. And I do believe there will be a time when we'll be able to understand that. But we are not at that time. And so it is magic. And, and when you really embrace that, the biggest thing that people are stuck in is 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 their past. That becomes their normal thought. It's a feedback loop. So you encounter the poor person that lives in the Congo, right? And they've live in a hut, and they have, struggled to eat since they were born, and they they barely have a pair of clothing. How does that person create a reality like I'm talking about? Because when they look around their environment, they're seeing these thoughts laid out, and it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. And so for many, the transformation that is required to move into this different level, to have more sales, to find prosperity and abundance, it requires a radical transformation with their own imagination. There's a paradox in this, because it's a mistake to lie to yourself, but at the same time, it's a sort of daydream. So there's a paradox in this. You can't lie to yourself, but at the same time, you kind of have to. And there's this in between area where there's the magic happens, and I'm going to be honest with myself for who I am now, but I can embrace an idea of where I want to be in a virtual sort of internal reality, and I can overcome this stuff. But a lot of people are struggling with their culture, their thoughts, even their gender. They've been taught things in school. They're constantly thinking this is how the reality is. It's there, and nobody's going to believe in magic if they've never seen it. And once you see magic happen, which is I'm fortunate to have, once you see magic happen, you see the unusual, the amazing, then suddenly it becomes possible. I believe the number one thing with all of this, the number one technique, if I was to give you the ultimate secret to doing it, is to have the magic, is just your ability to believe. You're in a constant battle with belief. If you believe it to be true, it will be so. And so you must learn to believe. And so if you just lie to yourself, you're not going to believe, because you know you're a liar. So you have to sort of believe in yourself, but you have to believe in this ability and this power that you can do it. And so for a lot of people, including myself, it takes a long period of restructuring and reprogramming the subconscious just to believe one thing, that it's possible. A lot of times that's the number one obstacle. People are going to do the meditations. They're going to try the affirmations. They're going to do whatever. They'll stand up. They'll do headstands. Hey, I'll do headstands for 15 minutes every day, if that's what it is. But they still deep down do not believe. And that, your thoughts create reality, every thought. And if your thought is, yeah, this is not likely, it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. It is so subtle. It is so fascinating. And so the magic happens when you can believe in magic. I like to wake up and just say, "Bring me the magic." I like to look for magic. When you start to open up your consciousness to the possibility of this, look around for it, embrace it, affirm it, and give yourself the time, and you're patient with it, you'll start to see the magic and the possibilities, and anything's possible. And it's possible, and in particular with your podcast, something that I strongly believe in and have done episodes on is that one of the keys to explore any reality and to do anything you want is to be an entrepreneur, because it's entrepreneurism in general gives you the freedom and the power and ability to explore any reality. It takes you away from those structures. It's what's allowed me. I'm free to do what I want, when I want, how I want to do it. And the only way I could have experienced that is to become an entrepreneur. And there's a lot of people that are following these techniques and principles. They're going to their 9 to 5 job. They're unable to take that chance on that business to try to get that sale. They don't believe that they could make money in this alternate source of income. They don't believe they believe it's going to be difficult or hard to make that money. They don't believe it's going to be continuous. And they deep down, maybe they feel guilty about it. Like, I shouldn't be having this money. It's going to be too easy. I don't deserve it. There's so many different things that are going on that you're battling with. When you find that pure energy, the pure power of the magic that is possible, when you believe it and see it, and you start to really embrace it and open yourself up to it, truly, anything is possible. I know that sounds like a cliche. There are people that are going to watch this that still don't believe with me. It's just human nature. But I'm telling you, I have seen the most amazing miracles. I've seen people that apply these things that have lost 250 pounds. I've seen people that have gone from only having $1,000 a month to making $50,000 a month within 6 months by applying these principles and opening up. What I have found is, once you really put yourself into the magic, that a lot of times people are just not even realizing all the opportunities that are coming their way, all the different sales opportunities, all the different new business ideas, because you just don't believe.
Hmm.
When you look at lucky people, it's not just this magical luck. They generally have the same personality. A lucky person is open to the luck around them. A lucky person, for instance, will might be going to the coffee shop. They see a $20 bill there. They're going to take it. The unlucky person will walk right by that $20 bill. And even though it's sitting there, they're in this world where they don't believe these possibilities that a $20 bill would pop up in their experience or consciousness. And so they walk by it. And so uh, it, it, it is the entrepreneurial nature of it, all of the things we're talking about. Uh, it is a journey of the self into understanding who you truly are and becoming aware of your power. And for some, it could take 20 years. Took me 20 years. Took me a long time. I saw The Secret a long time ago. I've been playing with these ideas, but um, I was one of those people that was coming up against it until I learned how to actually believe. And that's and it's the truth. Most of the people that are really interested in this are interested for a reason, because they're struggling, right? A lot of the people that are getting into this are coming from a place like, I'm hurting right now. I'm struggling. Maybe I can change this with my mind. That's where I was coming from, because at the time that I had this experience, I had a business that was sort of this drop ship business that I had going that required me to work. I was hesitant to have other people work for me. And so I was placing the orders for orders that were placed. And it was like a sort of, I got a keyword entry, copy and paste, do this. I'm working, I'm working like 19, 20 hours a day, and I don't have time to sleep. And it's still the sales are not going down. The actual profit margins are going low. I'm struggling. I'm suddenly having to pay the debts. I'm deeply in debt. I don't have enough. And I even talk about this in my book and on my channel. Like, I reach a point where I don't think it's possible. There's no way I can escape from this. I'm having terrible thoughts about what am I going to do? I need to give up. And so I reached out and started researching, can I change this with my mind? So, I read Napoleon Hill and Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy and start exploring these ideas. And that's about when I got shot. Like I started really exploring these and applying it and giving myself some time and started experiencing some small things. And I felt like the realities around me sort of became less defined, and I was maneuvering from, and that's when this happened. So uh, I think that it's a lot of people are in the same place and they're learning how to believe. I know that's a long answer with a lot of stuff to it, but
Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.